There's going to be something drastic that happens as a nation when we have this February 17th Aquarius eclipse. I've been looking over Donald Trump's chart. I've been looking over the chart of the day that there was an attempt on his life. I've been looking over the chart of America, and I've been putting some pieces together. It's sort of a lot, so buckle up, okay? One of the first things is that Saturn and Neptune are both moving into Aries very soon before that eclipse happens. Saturn is February 14th. January 26th is going to be Neptune. Saturn, ruler of Aquarius, Saturn and Aries, going to be ruling over the eclipse partially. Uranus is going to be the other ruler. Aries is in his 8th house, ruled by a Mars that is in his 12th house. 12th house, 8th house crossovers, Neptune, Scorpio crossovers are some of the more difficult crossovers to have because they require unexpected sacrifice in the shadows, underworld, inheritance, ancestral life, death sort of thing. He's been making a transition, Saturn in Pisces, with structure, power, hierarchy, as we've witnessed. Okay. Saturn moving into Aries and ruling over this eclipse and with the way that it is going to be placed with his world in his chart, there's something horrible about to happen to him. I don't know what. I don't know how. It's gonna ask that he gives up a lot of secure position. He's gonna have to make a lot of sacrifices on behalf of whatever he's doing. And it's an eclipse, so it'll activate it and then things will process. And the North Node isn't even in Aquarius yet. This is the first eclipse, and then we have a couple years of Aquarius energy turning with the eclipses. Also to note that his North Node is almost conjunct Uranus in his house. Its 10th house is ruled by Gemini. Also next to his sun. They're like all pretty close together. That North Node connected to his sun, connected to his Uranus in his 10th house means that he is setting up structure for eventually. One of the things that I have been saying about what is going on right now, we're going to get into some dark moon stuff in a second too, the shadows, underworld, mother wound related, and also going back to this for just a moment. One of the things about Aquarius and about Uranus is that it is predictive, it's premonitions, it sets things up, but we don't really realize that it's happening. And one of the things I've been saying about what's going on right now is that we're seeing a lot of this, the old cycles of what the nation was founded on, okay? The atrocities and the horror coming to the surface right now so that we can witness it and close it. Close the door on it, close the cycle. I know my ancestral work has been heavy on this recently. I can't attest to anybody else, but I've also seen a lot of clients moving through this. So I guess just reverence to that as necessary. I feel like what's going to happen is that after what is going on is done, we're going to see a lot of justice return. We're going to see a lot of change, a lot of new good things start to come into fruition. I don't know when or how long it will take to get there. I haven't looked at the transits for that yet. Maybe eventually, probably I will do that. It's also, mind you, the North Node is the stuff that we do that we cannot explain. We don't know why we're doing it. We just feel like we need to do it. So all the stuff that he's doing that he feels like he needs to do, he's setting up for justice to come through. And he doesn't mean to do it. Because does what's happening right now look like justice? No. Okay? Not one bit, not at all. But sometimes people are called to fall. And in this instance, I would say maybe there's truth in that. The other thing that I've been looking at is that he is about to start his dark moon return. Now, Lilith also being a name for the dark moon, I call it the dark moon on a personal level, just to explain for clarity's sake. Because Lilith isn't the only mother who sits in the darkness, so to be inclusive of people's practices, I call it the dark moon. Call it what you will, okay? But he's about to start his dark moon return. He's got a dark moon in Sagittarius. That was the eclipse he was born on. He was born on a full moon, lunar eclipse in Sagittarius, which is crazy. Also true, though. For a couple of years now, okay, if you've been paying attention to the eclipse energy since about 2023, the dark moon has been moving with the eclipses. It kind of snuck in there and was like, we're gonna move stuff around in the darkness, mother wound, shadow stuff. And if you've been following me since that time, maybe you'll remember, maybe not, that's okay. I was talking about with that eclipse, it was October, I think it was October 14th. I might have that date wrong, but October, the Libra eclipse of 2023. That was when the dark moon came into the picture. And I remember saying that justice and the mothers are going to start working together because of that. They're clearing things out of the way. The South Node clears things. It also grounds things on the earth. It does it kind of simultaneously. So him going through his dark moon return, and he has a dark moon in the 4th house. So that's like double mother energy. Dark moon in Sagittarius, ruled by, right now, Jupiter, which rules Sagittarius, is in Cancer. ruled by the upcoming eclipses, and Jupiter is still going to be retrograde for those eclipses. Magical's perspective on retrogrades is that they are binding. What is done in a retrograde is very, very difficult to undo. New witch tip if you need it, okay? So for Jupiter to be retrograde in Cancer and ruling over his dark moon return, dark moon returns are really difficult. We've already talked about other difficulties that he's about to face. Then, on top of that, we have this, and his Jupiter is in Libra. Surprise. Am I? Not really. Another thing to note about that, he's got Saturn and Venus basically conjunct in his chart in Cancer, which is where Jupiter is in the transits right now. His luck is running out. On a global scale? Question mark. There's a lot of death involved in this. The North Node connected to the South Node in Libra when we had the dark moon enter 2023 with the eclipses in Libra. North Node was still in Aries, which means the North Node was moving through his 8th house, which is where Saturn and Neptune are about to activate war energy for him. With the way these crossings look, I don't even know if I can say that on this app, to be honest with you, but that's what it looks like. And every time I look at it, I try to find another possibility of an answer, and I just feel like maybe that's time. Even if it's not, though, we're still going to see heavy major sacrifice and a lot of things ushered out of his life very, very soon. People get strange when they're clinging to the end, so we're also going to probably see some weird stuff happen if that's the case. Things scream when they're about to go, and they don't want to. Is there another way to look at this? A lot of the stuff that's happening right now, long term, because the eclipses are 18-year cycles. That is a very long time for us as humans in the life that we live, right? We're about to see a crossing of fate that he has been winding up in his life for, honestly, I don't even know how long, probably the entire thing, that he can't avoid. He can't avoid it. He's made his bed. Also to note too, I could tell you about every single one of these placements and the fact that they all indicate that that might be a thing, because they all indicate that that might be a thing. The only one that I'm looking at that I'm like, is the fact that he has an IC in Scorpio. That is the only redeeming quality of this on his behalf. Which, you know, as an astrologer and a spiritual person, I try to look at the transits as neutral as possible and then put them into application. So we've talked about a lot of the downfall, but if we're going to look at anything that might benefit, that IC in Scorpio is going to keep his private life more protected, as we've seen with the files. All right, it's a good example. Not that it's a good thing that happened at all, okay, but it is for that a good example. Probably also, as much as I maybe don't want to say this, is something that's apparent with the way his chart is and what's happening with Pluto and the eclipses of Aquarius. What's going on right now is setting up a lot of things for the future so that there's change long term related to more justice oriented work. Again, eclipses, they take about 18 years to process fully and totally. We also see in the turns of those eclipses, if we look at them related to the moon cycle, there's a quarter turn, there's a half turn, there's a third quarter turn, and then we have the full turn. The half turn is what we would call the lunar node opposition, right? So the south node would then come from that north node position into the south node position. So when the south node reaches Aquarius about 9 years from now, we'll see a lot of the stuff that's going to turn with the Aquarius eclipses come down to the earth and be more relative here. We'll also see about the 4 to 5 year mark after these Aquarius eclipses, that's going to be the quarter turn. And that's a square in astrology. So things get really real. There's a reality check. Things start to turn into reality. And if we're looking at timing of terms, politically speaking, then that would be around track of like us to get back, right? I don't know if this gives you hope. I don't know what it's going to do for you, but I've been thinking about this all night. I've been trying to tell myself that there's another way to make this, my brain didn't shut up about it, okay? So I figured I would bring it to you. Process it how you need to. Gratitude, reverence, and love to you. I'll probably be looking at more of this another time. For now, though, that is the information that I have. Keep up the brew you need to do. I will too. And I'll talk to you soon. Also true.